evening, good morning, good afternoon, or wherever we're at. We are 5 weeks out from the Alberta Open, where I'm competing in the Masters division for men's physique, over 40, over 50, and the Open division as well. Our update this week is going to be a little bit different because we're going to take you guys through a workout at our home gym that I had put together by Recon Fitness. Throw the link down below. The stuff is absolutely amazing. You guys will have a little bit of a look at the kick-ass home gym that I've got going on. Still have a couple more pieces coming, so once everything is in, I'm going to do a proper gym tour of the entire shebang, and you can kind of see what we're working with. We'll discuss some of the concepts that I'm using for the training right now. At 5 weeks out, contest prep, energy levels are shit because the calories are low. Fatigue management and recovery is about kind of where we're at with it. You're certainly not going to grow muscle at this point in the process. The idea is you're just trying to lose the fat, keep as much muscle on you as possible, because again, you're in such a huge deficit. You're not growing, you're not getting stronger, you're not hitting PRs, you're very susceptible to injury, so you really have to check your ego at the door. So I'm not going to be using crazy heavy weight. What we do is we still make it intense, though, by taking the repetitions fairly close to failure. Not right at failure, maybe a little bit, but we're going to come close. So kind of how I structure the workouts is I follow a routine in which I do about 4 to 6 weeks worth of training, and then I follow that with a deload week. And the purpose of the deload week is just to kind of give your body the chance to recover, rest, reset, so you can go back at it again. You can't, put your foot pedal to the metal 24/7, week in and week out, because you're just going to end up gassing out at some point. Your lifts are going to suffer. Your strength is going to likely decline. It's all about kind of fatigue management. So, you go as long as you feel you need to. And for most of us, the younger fellows can probably go a little bit longer without having a deload week. I find that after about, a solid month of heavy training, that I need that deload week. And basically what it is you're not doing the same amount of volume of sets. You're not doing as heavy. You're perhaps just, feeling out the motion a little bit. So this week is a deload week. Which is great, which is going to have me the last 4 weeks. We can push into the show. Again, at this point, you're not trying to move mountains or anything like that. You're just getting in there, shuttling the blood around, getting a good muscle pump going on, feeling the exercise, taking it through full range of motion. And we're going to describe a lot of that as we go through the exercises. I'll kind of explain what it is that we're doing. I use kind of like a modified split routine. Before I was doing a push, legs, pull. So one day you'd have your push day, chest, shoulders, triceps, followed by a leg day where it's just devoted just to legs. Men's physique, we're in board shorts, so I'm not overly crazy about training the legs too heavy right now. And the pull day, which is your back and biceps. So that's how you split that, 3 days on with 1 day of rest and then repeat. This time around, I'm using a modified full body routine. And what I mean modified is each muscle group gets hit almost every day. But we focus on one body part specifically per day. So for one body part, you're doing more sets, more volume, and then full body for the rest. And then the next day, you're doing a different body part focus, but again, full body. So it's not a lot of sets on the other exercises, just like one exercise, a couple sets, and then you're focused on one body part. So each muscle group's getting hit at least maybe 2 to 3 times a week, and definitely hit twice pretty hard. So today we're just going to do a little bit of a mixed bag of stuff, but let's go down to the gym and check it out, and we'll get a good pump going on. Follow me through the workout 5 weeks out. Coach is happy with the progress. Weight is still continuing to drop, which is good. Fat loss is doing really well. Steps are still at 12,000. We haven't adjusted the calories down. Actually, that's not true. We pulled a little bit of fat off 2 of the non-training days, so the rest days. It dropped the amount of fat calories by a little bit. The only fat that I'm getting in right now is probably just trace amounts in the chicken that I'm having, and also I'm adding avocado to each meal. So I'm going to be trimming the avocado back just a little bit. 7 grams of extra fat per meal, down from 10 grams of fat. So let's get in a little bit of a workout. Join me in the gym. We'll see you down there. Hey, welcome to the GAZEYFITNESS home gym. Here we are. We're going to go through, maybe give them a little bit of pan, show them what we got. We have got pretty much everything we need. We also have a bunch of equipment downstairs in our basement. We have a Vitruvian magnetic resistance machine, which is crazy. I'm going to do a full video on just that alone. We've got cable crossovers, we've got a treadmill, adjustable bench down there, and everything you see in here. So again, we are on a deload week, so we're not going to break the budget as far as doing any ego lifting or anything like that. I'm going to probably just do upper body, couple sets for each. We'll take you through kind of what we got. We're going to start with the Smith machine incline. So join me on that. Hold it right down the chest. You get that big stretch at the bottom, right? Pushing off the bottom. Big stretch back. Again, we're not using a lot of weight. Just going for the feel of the exercise. Probably jump in there from somewhere between maybe 12 to 15 reps. Not taking it anywhere close to failure this week. Again, you want to be mindful of being close to failure this far out from a contest. Very susceptible to injury at this point. Switch over to pec deck flies. Again, I'm going to focus on keeping my elbows up, squeezing into the center. It's almost like you're kind of tucking your biceps together. You want a big full range of motion stretching at the back. So let's get into some of these. Again, not going too heavy, just going for a little bit of a pump, stretching back, squeeze in the middle. All the way back, you can arch your chest out, squeeze. This one is a fantastic machine. Isolateral row. So each side works independently, so you can pull them both at once or individually. It hits really nice. So the thing to notice on this one is you're going to keep your elbows down, tucked, and your shoulder down as well. So you don't want to hunch up the shoulder. You'll just slide it right into the back. Squeeze. Again, using your back to pull. Squeezing at the back. Big, long range of motion. Stretch, squeeze. Knocking off, like, again, maybe 15 to 20 of these. We're going to switch over now to dumbbell side laterals, targeting that medial mid head of the delt. Just going to bring it up. Pulling from the shoulders, not from the wrist. Tension at the top, coming up to about shoulder height. Don't want to come all the way down so you're resting. Keep the tension on them. Come to about 90% down. So we're flipping the other way now on the pec deck machine, turning it over to rear delts. So we're looking at targeting the rear portion of the deltoid, giving it that nice round, full look. So again, hands are out, squeezing them back, together, full range. Squeeze, pause. You want to pause a little bit so you're not using momentum to move the weight, so you're not throwing it. You're pausing so you're controlling the weight. Squeeze into the back, holding the contraction. Pause, squeeze. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of triceps now. Seated overhead dumbbell tricep extension. Again, placing both hands on the dumbbell. Put it overhead. You wanna get the stretch on the tricep right at the beginning. And you're gonna do that just by coming back until you feel that stretch. And then you drop it right from there, pushing up and back. A little bit of clicking going on there. Squeeze, dropping down, feel that stretch, and up. Elbows tucked in. For biceps, we're gonna do some concentration curls. You can do these standing or seated. Just find you just hang your arm straight down. You're gonna kind of come up from the elbow, curl. Kind of like scooping it a bit. So I'm not coming straight up from there because the contraction ends kind of not all the way up. But when you come forward, I can kind of scoop it and squeeze it up a little bit higher. So that's going to be a wrap for today's workout. 5 weeks out. Did 2 to 3 sets of each. Didn't film the whole thing, obviously. It'll bore you to tears watching somebody else work out. Just thought we'd just switch things up a little bit, show you a little bit of the workout, show you some of the home gym. Did a couple sets, kept the reps, you know, in the anywhere from 12 to 20. Not taking it right to failure. I probably stopped about 4 or 5 short of failure on each one. Again, during the deload week. Next week, we'll ramp it up a little bit, bring it a little bit closer to failure, but not all the way there. Again, simply because it's not that I'm not a proponent of training to failure, I am, but this close to a contest, you don't want to push the envelope too much because you're quite frail. And you're very susceptible to injury at this point. So that's all you want when you're a few weeks out, is to hurt yourself. So it's kind of like you're on coast mode at this point, just getting the workouts in. But thanks for joining us. We'll update you next week when we are 1 month to go. Thanks for joining us. Cheers.